And the base keeps running, running, and running, running. Gonna close out today's show. Uh, Pretty good show. We talked about Cam Newton being involved in a brawl with a bunch of nimwits and nimrods in a 7-on-7 football game in Atlanta, Georgia. Uh, yeah, don't even want to elaborate on that one. Then we talked about the NCAA being butthurt that they cannot enforce any penalties in the NIL since they were ruled against by a federal judge. Matt Campbell, Iowa State Cyclones, making some noise. He's in a plug and play mode ever since he lost a coordinator to the NFL for Sean McVay and the Rams. Then we talked about Mike Norvell making it rain FSU, throwing down that money dance on my man. Congratulations to him. Finally, it's going to bring us to our final story today. Going to talk about EA Sports. Now, this came from Rihanna Walker at Yahoo Sports, and she writes EA Sports is releasing a college football game this summer. The only difference now is the NCAA players will be compensated. Hallelujah. And what? We got more money. So, for the first time in more than a decade, EA Sports will be releasing a college football video game. I think I had the last one with Tim Tebow on it, and you would play. Oh man, that was so much fun on Xbox. My goodness, that was so much fun. And I think around it was like 2 years after my youngest son was born. That game came out, and I was having a blast. Tim Tebow was whatever game. Like I said, whatever game Tebow was on the cover of EA Sports for college football. That game was insane. I loved it. You can make the mascots play each other. Oh my goodness, that game was so much fun. I think even when the missus had a yard sale and I seen that game up for sale, I intentionally held it back. And then I gave my daughter, when she moved out and got her own place, I gave her my Xbox 360, which it broke my heart because it still had a game that I play till this day, Capcom versus Marvel 2. I love that game. That's one of my favorites. And that game was on that hard drive. So I'm just like, oh, yeah, that and then X-Men. So, oh my goodness, going down the pipeline. Jesus Christ. However, fans are celebrating the arrival of EA College Sports 25 this summer. No group is rejoicing more than the NCAA players. More than 11,000 college football players will have their first choice to opt in and get paid for the use of their likeness on Thursday. So in 2 days, 11,000 kids will file to get that check. Yes. And nothing happens in a vacuum. When we were seeing the NCAA lose NIL causes, this was just a foregone conclusion. This was bound to happen. Because I think the last linchpin was the story that we covered today when the NCAA was ruled against by a federal judge. They could not enforce any of the NIL penalties that they were trying to put on these schools. And so if I'm a video game developer or if I'm someone who's trying to monopolize on college sports, I no longer have to deal with the NCAA. I can go directly to the kids. And that's how it always should have been in the first place. But Walker goes on. Since EA Sports put out this last college football game around NCAA 14 on July the 9th of 2013, again, that's what I was sitting there saying. I was just like, my youngest, it was 2 years after he was born, and that kid's 12 now. Jesus. The company has come up with a new system to deal with the name, image, and likeness now that the players can be compensated for their same image rights. And as they should be. As they should be. My only question would be, in the past, who did EA Sports pay to make that game? Because those individuals were gaming the system. So until EA Sports got in hot water, they were content to make these games, and they were content to pay, my suspicion, allegedly, the NCAA, because they were able to rake in on the backs of these young men and make that money. This is college football. Remember, Ed O'Bannon and the O'Bannon brothers, who played in UCLA, when he made a stink about this many years ago, I want to say at the same time, he wasn't getting paid for his name, image, and likeness on a college basketball game. And now that he's done and he's walked away from everything, I think even that he may have won that case. So they stopped making college basketball games. But Rihanna goes on to write, now this is the guy from EA Sports, Sean O'Brien. He says, we feel very proud that we'll be the largest program, like the highest spending program in EA Sports history, and really an inclusive opportunity with an equitable distribution of funds across the board. I like the news, but don't take credit for something you should have been doing all along. Let me repeat this. I like where he's going. He's saying all the right things publicly, but you can't take credit for something that you should have been doing from the beginning. It's kind of like when you hear guys sit up here and say, well, I'm a good father. You should have always been a good father. They are your kids. You don't get any credit for doing something that you should be doing. Any player that opts in will be paid $600 and receive a copy of the game. That's cool. That's dope. EA Sports needed a school email to send to the opt-in notice and confirmation from the college that said player is on the roster to add the athlete to the game. If a player maintains their opt-in throughout the duration of his career, he will receive an annual check. The compensation was determined by looking at how other games on the market were negotiated. And the money is guaranteed regardless of the game's success. So that is a built-in perk that you're going to receive money even if this game flops. So it's in the student's best interest to promote the game. If I'm on the game, I want my parents to go buy a copy. I want their friends and their friends' friends to buy a copy, because that's going to affect the way that these checks are issued once I'm done with the game. And how cool is that for you to be sitting there with your son or daughter and say, look, here, daddy was playing at this school. Here's my name. Here's what I was doing. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's giving you a physical account of, hey, look, the game thought I was important enough to do this. Nothing but good news. And I'm happy for 11,000 kids right now playing college athletics, because it refreshes the conversation where, hey, look, I can stay in college. I can make money while I'm here in college. I don't have to jump to pros. And maybe, just maybe, the competition level starts to go back up, where you don't have 4 definite programs that are dominant all the time. Now with the transfer portal, people can go anywhere. With the NIL, hey, look, we can pay for the top kids to come. And now with EA Sports, hey, look, we can play you. We can pay you to be in the game. This is all win-win for the students. I am always pro-athlete. I am anti-system. If you couldn't figure that out right now. If you're going to speak truth to power, I talk about shady agents. I talk about the moronic decisions of the front office of any sport. Talk about horrible ADs. I talk about all of these guys because they deserve scrutiny. It should not always be about players and demagoguery of players who make boneheaded mistakes. Now, if you're a bonehead and you're a bum and you're doing dumb stuff, we're going to call you to the carpet. But we're also going to have that same energy for the administration. We're going to have that same energy for the general managers. We're going to have the same energy for the owners. We're not going to be pro-owner class like you see on TV. See, they want access. I don't care about talking to athletes. That's not my thing. I don't even find these guys interesting. It's like, yay, you threw a football. Okay. What now? What now? Yay, you made some tackles. What now? That guy can dunk from the free throw line. Okay. And your point? I find interesting the people in my community. I find interesting the people at the supermarket. I find the people interesting who work as school drivers, bus drivers, and such. Those are the people who I find interesting. I don't find people on TV interesting. I don't find athletes like, ooh, I'm going to do everything to get that person's interview. No. Nah. You just say what it is and keep it moving. You see them, dap them up. Hey, look, good game, bro. I'm out. I ain't got nothing bad to say about you. When you do bad things, of course, I'm going to go ahead and have a criticism, but I'm not just going to overly make stuff up to keep a 24-hour news cycle going. Again, this is me getting off the soapbox. A player eject from soapbox now. A player will have the ability to opt in one annual version of the game and opt out of the latter one. So you're starting to see this a lot in the video game world where they release a football game, or not a football game, but just let's say a game in hypothetical. You have something like Mortal Kombat or Mario Kart. This is a more Mario Kart situation. Mario Kart will have different tracks that they actually release at a certain time. What EA Sports is saying is that not only will they have certain versions of the game that you can opt in, when they make enhancements to that game, you can also opt in to be part of those, or you can opt out. Transferring will have no impact on a player's ability to be in the game as long as he is on his new team's roster. So again, this is going back to the transfer portal guys. I can't go to Michigan and then transfer to Penn State, not register and tell them that I've moved to Penn State, and then now I'm mad because I didn't get my check. No, you have to keep up with these people. You have to tell them where you've went and what you're doing. So that's pretty cool. That's them giving themselves some protection. Teams will have a maximum of 85 players per school, the scholarship limit for schools at the top level of college football during the initial release. So there you have it. EA Sports, it's in the game. The money, it's in your hand. All you have to do is make the team. Make the team. Report to the people at EA Sports on a verified school email, and then get your money. If you opt in right now, you're going to get $600. And for some of these kids who aren't the star, that $600 can come in handy. That $600 can come in handy. If I'm a college kid and I'm new to the team, I don't have any of the pedigree or I don't have any of the accolades that most of these guys have. But I tell you what I do have. I've got an email with the school on there. I've got a school email. The athletic director, the coaching staff, they can vouch that I'm on the team. I think I take that $600. I pray that this game is super. I pray that this game is super successful because we need the money. And even when I'm done and I've graduated, I get an annual check off this game. Yeah. Congratulations to them. So it's been fun today. We covered everybody from Cam Newton and his scuffle with 7 idiots in Atlanta, the NCAA being moist in the panties and hard and mad that they no longer can shake down schools in these NIL deals. Also, Matt Campbell at Iowa. He is Iowa State. He is making moves, plug and play, and he's getting ready for the Big 12 championship. Also, Mike Norvell making it rain. Ohio State, not Ohio State, Jesus, Florida State making it rain on Mike Norvell. And that guy signed another extension on top of an extension. So he's making money. And then EA Sports. EA Sports is in the game. It's been a lot of fun. We will be back tomorrow. Thank you all again. We love and appreciate you all for following the show. Share, like, and subscribe. As always, this is Big.